All right. Well, good evening, and at least good evening for us. And maybe good morning or good afternoon, wherever you're watching this from. We are so glad you have joined us this evening. Welcome to the Testimonial Tuesday. I'm actually going to interview a lovely lady this evening that has an absolutely beautiful and inspiring story of her journey that she's been on over the last year or so. It actually started before that. She'll go back a little bit before that, but we're going to talk a bit about the last year or so of her journey. And everybody, I hope you're listening. I hope you got your Kleenex boxes because it's such a touching, inspiring story. And really, we've just kind of become friends over the last few months, and I'm so glad that we've been able to connect. And so without further ado, I would like to introduce my good friend, Vicki. So, Vicki, say hi to everyone. Are you there?
Hello, Great Life
There we
family.
go. Okay, we might have a little bit of lag, so just bear with us as my question gets over to her side. It might take a little while. We're going from Indiana to Florida. That must be it. But why don't you, Vicki, why don't you go ahead and just share a little bit, about your personal health story? Like share the details of your health challenges that kind of led up to, when you discovered the supplements and everything. So just give us a little bit of a background on your story.
Okay, well, all of it started really badly in 2009 when I got the H1N1 flu. It was like 2 weeks before they released the antivirus stuff out, and my daughter had fallen off her bike, and we went to the hospital, and we both ended up with H1N1 flu. She got over it pretty quickly, but I ended up with 6 autoimmune disorders. It really messed my life up big time. I mean, it was really awful. I mean, she was finding me flopping around on the floor and stuff. And she was only 9 at the time. She's 25 now. So it's been a journey. And I for all kinds of ways to supplements, health food stores, research. I believe in being your own best advocate when it comes to your health. And so I have searched and searched and searched for years. I've tried supplements, other supplements and stuff before, but the bottom line is that it gave me chronic kidney stones. I had the start of rheumatoid arthritis starting to occur, chronic fatigue syndrome, Hashimoto's disease, peripheral neuropathy, type 2 diabetes. It all came all from this H1N1. I was fine before then. It changed my whole
Wow.
world. It was a long, hard fight. I still worked, I still did things, I still had my sights and everything, but my health, it was a battle. The sugar up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and all of a sudden, I think I had 27 kidney stones I had to have removed because of all of the medication they put me on. It was 13 medication put me on, and 4 insulin shots in my stomach. So anyway, that's all gone, thank God. But anyhow, I got to I had this last year I had a simple kidney stone removal scheduled, and I ended up from this simple procedure, which I'd had before many a times. I got infection, 9 weeks for them, and 3 trips to the hospital. They kept sending me home for them to diagnose that I had sepsis so bad that it had got into my blood and had gave me vertebral osteomyelitis. That by the time they figured it out in this 9 week period, even though I was begging and pleading because I was in the most excruciating pain of my life. I could take pain, but this was awful. It's like a rope squeezing around your core so tight, and it like my ribs felt like they were breaking 24/7. It took
Let me
them
let let
nine
me
weeks when
let me stop you there just for a second. If you heard Vicky say that she got sepsis, and if some of you aren't really familiar with that, sepsis can be very it can be very deadly. So, this was a big concern for Vicki at the time. So sorry about that, Vicki. I just want to explain
Mhm.
that to people. So go ahead and continue on.
When they finally figured it out, they finally sent me downtown for a special MRI diagnostic. They found out that I had it in my blood back so bad, the osteomyelitis, that it had already disintegrated two of my vertebrae and had already turned 10 of my other vertebrae into marshmallow. So if that gives you an idea of the pain that I was suffering, and it took them 9 weeks to figure it out. I'm thankful they did. They rushed me to ICU immediately. I spent a whole month in ICU. I almost died. Um, I was able to finally take the antibiotics, the strong IV antibiotics, and get through that enough to where they could do the surgery. And then they put me in inpatient physical therapy. At that time, I could walk and do everything even after the surgery. But when they released me to come home, that's when the fun began. The first day that I had got home from the hospital from being in physical therapy, some reason being off all the antibiotics, maybe all the medicine, everything, like they just cold turkey took me off of everything that I had been on for the last 2 months. Um, what happened, it caused me to get a brain effusion plus some of the osteomyelitis, and it made water go on my brain. So I all of a sudden couldn't remember my own grown kids' names. I
That's
couldn't
sad.
remember how to do anything independently. Anything, not stand up, sit down, lay down, walk, go to the bathroom, shower, nothing. I woke up with nothing. And it took about 3 days for me to be able to get my memory of my children back, but it took 3 months for me to remember how to do normal, basic, everyday things. So that was the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. I almost died once again from this stupid brain abuse. But God kept me here. So I am so grateful that I have a life and I am still here and I'm here and able to share the story with you. But when I was going through my recovery, God told me, Vicki, you need to reach out and talk to Rob Garrick. I've known him for 20 years.
Yes. We love
Okay,
Rob.
well, so I contacted Rob. It had been a long time, but I contacted him and immediately he told me about Great Life. Now, I didn't tell him how bad off and stuff I was. He was just introducing me to the product. So I listened to Rob because obviously God pointed me at Rob for a reason. So, and I took the Great Life products. I took the plunge. I ordered 3 products. I call them to this day my 4 3 products. And they are the Cherry Blaster and the Super Fruits and Greens and the Wild Conch. Now I
That's a
started
powerful
taking these.
combo.
Yes, I call them my 4 3, and I know that I have said this so much to a lot of people. They probably think I'm just like, lost my mind or something. But I know that these 3 products took me from barely being able to do anything myself to feeling like a whole new person again. I can walk, I can bend, I can lift, I can twist, I can do stuff. I'm alive. And I know in my head and my heart, it's because of these 3 products. Now, I didn't give up there. I still
Let
had to
me
do another.
just
Okay.
just real quick, Vicki, let me just for the people watching, let me just insert there that just remember everyone that we don't make any medical claims to treat or prevent, cure any disease or anything like that. This is Vicki's personal testimony. So and she is very passionate about sharing it with others and sharing it with you. Who knows who she might touch and be able to help. But we just wanted to make sure that that we make no claims of any sort, but this is her personal testimony. So go ahead and continue, Vicki.
So anyhow, I didn't stop there. I still had another surgery to get through, another back surgery. So they had to recut open my back. Now this was just in May of 2024 that they recut open my back. Now I was already on the products from December till May, those three products. I also in March added Clear Heart, and I added Get Juiced, and I added Phytozone. I added each one as my third product 1 month after the another, but I always have kept myself in stock of my core three. I do not and will not want to run out ever. I mean, I do everything in my power to keep it on hand at all times. I get a little short of Cherry Blaster sometimes, but I will get it in stock as soon as I can. So, but the another uh another thing is the new derma. Now, when the antibiotics, I was on the IV antibiotics, and I was on the for a very long time in the hospital, the absolute strongest antibiotics. They had infectious disease and all that stuff, and it made me lose some of my hair, and it made me my skin dry, so dry. It was like all wrinkly and cracked, and it just hurt and itched so bad. And so, I had got the new derma to try because it had also, because of all the medications and everything had aged in this last year, almost 10 years. You could see it in my face and you could see it in my neck because of all the medication and the antibiotics and the loss of muscle tone. And so I got the new derma to try just on my face and my hands and my neck. And it worked so well there that I ordered me another bottle. And so the rest of me that was getting where all the lost muscle tone was, I covered myself for that until that bottle was empty. Not, I didn't do it all in one day.
Awesome.
Over the course of a couple of months, I covered myself with the new derma all over my legs, my arms, everything, and it made my skin be back to normal. To be back to soft and not all scaly and feeling like crepe paper. So I'm very grateful for that too.
Yes,
So,
that's awesome. That is awesome, Vicki. So, let me ask you a question. So I know you said that periodically you've run out of like cherry blaster sometimes. How does that affect you when you run out?
oh my gosh. It's like, okay, I suffered for a long time from the 2009 H1N1 stuff with the chronic fatigue and not having stamina and the high up down of the insulin and everything for so long. And taking the core products for my body made me be able to get off completely of all insulin. My A1C is great, my blood works
Awesome.
great, so I no longer have to take insulin in my stomach, which was terrible to have to do. But when I run out of Cherry Blaster and my three core products, if I run out, it makes me I'm so fatigued again. I just feel so almost not clear mentally. The
You lose your
mental focus
focus
and the
and yeah.
clarity isn't there. I don't, and my body can feel it. My body says, I want my core three products. I mean, it lets me know big time because it's not happy with me when I run out of the supplements and I really need them. So I plan on also trying the stem cell as soon as I can mix it with the Phytozone. The Phytozone and the Get Juiced helped me tremendously with the peripheral neuropathy. I had the neuropathy so bad in my feet that um I had the neuropathy so bad in my feet that it hurt really bad. Like it would wake me up in the middle of the night and I'd get the lightning bolts in my legs and everything. After taking these products, it's gone. It's gone. So I am just so grateful to God that I have a new lease on life. I have a new body, and I want to shout out to the world because there's so many people out there that are suffering, and there's no reason for them to be
Yes.
suffering when there's products out there that actually work. So
Yep.
that's why I'm sharing my story. I'm not exactly a person that loves to get in front of the camera and everything, but it's so important to let everybody know that these products are actually working, and
You're
they make for my body they work fabulous. And so I would recommend that anybody, you at least try and see, especially the cherry blaster. If you don't feel like so much better, your stamina, your clarity, everything, just even after one bottle of cherry blaster, then maybe your body needs a little bit more than mine. But I love it and it works great for me. And I'm
yes,
not
it
gonna go
does.
off
It
of it.
and it's a good clean energy. That's what I like about it. You don't have no crash, after after it
Mm-mm.
wears off or whatever. It's a good clean energy that gets you through the day and helps you to focus mentally and everything. I wanted to ask you a question. You talked about because we had talked a little bit earlier. We kind of went over some things and everything, and you had said something about how did you feel when you found out that like your blood work was coming back normal instead of
Oh
all
my
wonky and
gosh.
all over the place.
Oh, it was already such an ordeal. I had to go to cardiologist, and I had to go to neurosurgeon, and I had to go to urologist or a urology surgeon and an endocrinologist, and just to keep everything in check, plus my regular PCP doctor. But when I sat down in the chair with my endo doctor, and she looked at me and she looked at my paperwork and she said, "What have you done?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, you don't. She told me at that point I no longer needed to take insulin in my stomach. And I about fell out of my chair. I wanted to, I was just so happy because that's been the most painful thing. And I mean, it's terrible. I don't wish that on anybody to have to do that. And that was terrible. 7 years I had to do that. 7 years. So I'm so grateful. You have no idea. My whole life has been restored, and I want to just hug everybody. I want to hug Greg for coming up with these products and working so hard on them for so many years. And I want to hug Rob for introducing them to me. And I'm thanking God. I mean, because God kept me here and showed me great life, restored me with this whole family that's been wonderful, and I am so very grateful.
He was not finished with you yet, not
No.
at all. So, you talked about like kind of during this process losing like muscle, like your muscle tone and needing to regain core strength and all of that. And so what kind of has that recovery process, what helped you the most? Like, was there a particular product? Was it just your core three that that you call your core three? Was that what helped you through the process, or just what, kind of kind of fill us in a
The
little bit on.
course, the core three got me through the get up and go,
Mhm.
like the being able to endure more, to be able to push myself harder, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
To be able to stay focused and to not feel fatigued, to not just want to go lay back down. You know what I'm saying? It gave me the drive and the energy that I needed to push forward. But the clear heart, that helped with my blood pressure and my cholesterol and everything. And all my blood work is really great. And if anybody wanted to see my blood work, I'd be willing to share that too because of it's just so amazing. I mean, it's just
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's like
this
I
is
am
this is
so
real.
happy.
This is
I'm
real,
not
everyone.
fixed.
This is a
I'm not.
real, this is Vicki is a
Yeah.
real person. This is a real story. So I think that's
Mm,
what makes it so, so inspirational and just, it just touches our hearts when she shares it, and I could just listen to her story over and over
Now,
and over again. But what would you, I know you mentioned something just a little bit ago, but what would you, maybe what is some inspiration or advice or whatever that you can give people that are struggling with health conditions? And I mean, a lot of them, they're going to the doctor, they're not getting any, a lot of times it just seems like someone's putting a band-aid on it, and they're not getting to the root of it, and getting to the, like you did, you got to the root of what was going on. And you did your research, and you reached out, and you with the help of your doctors and just nutritional supplements, got yourself back to living again. So what kind of inspiration or advice would you share with those that are struggling right now?
be your own best advocate. Doctors make mistakes. Doctors are in the business of giving you prescriptions and stuff that often just mask the pain. Now, I have a lot of respect for my doctors because they were up there and they helped me too. They got me through the surgeries and everything. But for that period of time where they were just throwing 13 medications at me, different doctors, and it created, I got the just the medicine alone. It's the capsules and stuff are covered. They have stuff in what the capsules are made of, gluten and all kinds of stuff that is not healthy. The combination of all this stuff, it made me expand all around the middle. It made me lose my teeth, for gosh sakes. I can't wait to smile again, but I'll be working on that as soon as I can. But it made me, I mean, you just can't give up. Okay. I mean, my kids are like, why are you gonna spend all this money and stuff? Because you know what? My body needs it, and my body and I am worthy, and I want my health to come as first priority. And if all of this didn't open my eyes to that, it certainly does now. So I just absolutely, uh, I just am so grateful, and I just want to hug the world and shout out to the world and let everybody know Great Life products are the best, and I'm ready to live a great life.
That's absolutely right.
Mm.
And just to clarify there, just one quick thing that Vicky said is like she said, we're not saying we don't need doctors. I mean, doctors are there for a reason. I've needed doctors too in my life and everything. But what we're saying is just make sure you do your due diligence and your research and be your own advocate. And even maybe even share some of the stuff that you find with your doctor. Say, what would you think about this? Or even a lot of us actually take our products into the doctor, and I've been told, yeah, keep taking that, it might help you with X, Y, or Z. So Vicky, I just want to thank you so much for your willingness and your servant heart to come on here and to share your inspiring story with everybody. And if you have any questions about anything that Vicky said, or you have any questions about the products or whatever, just make sure you get back with the person that invited you to the Rebels group. So if you do not know who that person is, reach out to an admin, and one of us will gladly connect you with the person that invited you to the group. So anyhow, any final words of wisdom before we go, Vicky?
Well, I don't want to misrepresent myself either. I am not 100%. I still have a lot of recovery to do in my back where the back muscles were cut. And I still have to build up all my strength again from all the lost muscle tone. So, I mean, and I don't know if anybody came when Dr. Mike spoke that night, but that really hit me hard. Is that for every day that you're down and not being able to move or not being able to be active, it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks to make up for the lost muscle tone that you achieve. So please don't let yourself get in that state.
Yes. Yes,
There
absolutely.
was
Well,
something else
again,
that I want to try the stem cell with the phytoson for sure, because if
oh
I
yeah.
really think that's going to do really a lot in my back and helping me with my back recovery. So my story's not over yet. I'll be
That's
back.
right. That's right. This is just the beginning, everyone. I'm sure we're probably going to have Vicki back on again down the road. And but I mean, from where she started to, like she said, her near-death experience to now, look at her now. I mean, look at her, she's upright and just beautiful, and we just
Yeah,
love
I
her.
stand
And
up.
just thank
Yay!
you. Thank you so much, Vicki, for coming on with us. And again, everyone, if you have any questions, reach out to someone in the group, reach out to the person that invited you. Just thank you for being here with us, and have a great evening, and God bless each and every one of you. Bye for now.
Bye.